What's up everybody, my name is Valrith, aka Sinric, and this is going to be a melee stat guide for vanilla World of Warcraft. I'm going to leave some links in the description or in the annotations that'll let you jump to other parts of the guide. The first thing I want to talk about is how to calculate your weapon DPS after gear. What you want to do is take the DPS on your weapon and then add your attack power divided by 14. After that you want to times that number by your weapon speed. And of course, if you're doing an offhand, you then divide it by 2 because your offhand is half of what your main hand does. Bonuses from attack power are added to a character's DPS before attack speed bonuses come into effect. So for example, a character with a weapon DPS of 10, a 2.0 attack speed, and then 140 attack power total will have a total DPS of 20. Now if you get a 10% increase to attack speed, the 10% will come on the 20 and not the base 10. So you're going to have 22 DPS instead of 21. Weapon skill is very important in vanilla. For each point that your weapon skill exceeds your opponent's defense, you gain the following. Your chance to miss decreases by 0.04%, your chance to crit increases by 0.04%, and your chance for your attack to be blocked, parried, or dodged decreases by 0.04%. Defense basically works in the exact same way, except opposite. So if you're a tank, for every point of defense that you have that exceeds the weapon skill of your opponent, their chance to miss increases by 0.04%, their chance to crit decreases by 0.04%, and so on. It's basically just the opposite of weapon skill. Critical hit immunity, as far as defense goes, for a level 60 player against a raid boss occurs at 440, and this means you need 140 defense from gear in order to achieve this. I've discussed this before in some of my other videos, but I'm going to go over it again. Attack tables for NPCs are as follows: miss, parry, dodge, block, critical hit, crushing blow, and white hit. In order to determine the outcome of a monster's attack, the game makes a table of 10,000 rows and fills it up with all the possibilities. If you have a 2% chance to dodge, then 2% of those 10,000 rows will say dodge. If you have a 20% chance to block, then 20% of those rows will say block. Sometimes when you add up all the percentages for the possible outcomes, the total is above 100%. In this case, each possible outcome has a priority. The highest priority outcomes are added to the table first, and when the table is already full, the remaining lower priorities are then pushed off. For example, the first attack table might look like this: miss chance 6%, parry 8%, dodge 8%, block 8%, critical 5%, crushing blow 15%, and then hit chance 35%. Now let's say we use our shield block though, which increases our chance to block by 75%. Our attack table now looks like this: miss chance 6%, parry chance 8%, dodge chance 8%, block chance 78%. You might notice that the block chance is only 78% instead of 83%. This is because that block is pushing some of the other stats off the table. Because of these mechanics, this also means that a block cannot be a crushing blow and a dodge cannot be a critical hit. All of these entities are completely separate. A player attack table is similar but looks a little bit different. It goes as follows: miss, dodge, parry, glancing blow, block, critical hit, and normal hit. The total amount in the hit table cannot be higher than 100%. This means that if places 1 through 6 total up to 100%, the normal hit will be knocked off and it will never occur. Your base chance to miss against a boss is 8% with a one-handed weapon or two-hander, and it's 27% when dual wielding. For normal monsters, it's only 5% for two-handed and 24% for dual wielding. Remember that when you gain plus hit, you're not actually increasing your hit chance. Instead, what you're doing is you're reducing your chance to miss. Your chance to hit is what is left over to reach 100% after adding all the other things together. It's important to know that a boss has a base dodge chance of 6.5% and can only parry and block attacks that are made from their front. Calculating a hit table would look something like this: miss chance 27%, dodge chance 6.5%, which comes naturally when fighting a boss. Parry percent is going to be 0 because we're not going to be standing in front of the boss. Glancing blow 40% chance, block percent 0, critical hit chance 10%, normal hit 16.5%. This means that if you make 100 attacks against a boss, you'll deal 0% damage 34 times, 200% damage 10 times, 100% damage 16 times, and 70% damage 40 times. Now this is an example of a Fury Warrior who has 35% chance to crit but no additional hit rating. Notice that it only has 26.5% crit listed. This is because you are over the thing people like to call crit cap. Your hit table cannot exceed 100%. This is why it's important to have not only hit but also crit. For the last example, I'm going to keep the 35% crit, but I'm also going to add 6% hit. The table would then look something like this. Notice that your crit is a little bit higher than what it was before. This is because of your crit cap again. You want to get just enough hit to where you're going to reach your crit cap, but not too much hit and not too much crit. As explained earlier, the plus 6% hit will not increase your chance to get a normal hit, but rather reduce the chance to get a miss. The hit cap is the amount of hit you need in order to make sure none of your attacks will miss, and there are two different types of hit caps. The first hit cap is the most important one and is known as the yellow hit cap or the ability hit cap. This hit cap is only about 8% and you basically need it in order to not miss your abilities on bosses. The second hit cap is the white damage hit cap or the auto attack one. This is the amount of hit needed to never miss a normal swing. You need about 27% in order to never miss a white hit, so don't really try to go for this. Remember that when calculating your crit cap for yellow attacks, they cannot glance. So this is going to make it seem a lot higher of a cap, of course, because, again, there's an extra 40% chance for you to hit or crit or whatever. To put it quite simple though, there is no point of having more crit than the crit cap, because we already established that the total amount of the hit table cannot be higher than 100%. Hopefully some of this information will help some people out with the future of Nostalrius, but I just want to say thank you for watching my video, and I hope you like, subscribe, and come back to see the next one.